So Karina has sent a message in to the Becky Walsh page on Facebook. That's Becky Walsh, the Stand-Up Intuitive. So when you're typing it in, I have to read what it says. It says facebook.com, Becky Walsh, Stand-Up Intuitive. That's the page on Facebook if you want to get any of your questions answered as Karina has done. Karina said, how do you lose those annoying thoughts from your past? The things that crop up, maybe when you wake up first thing in the morning, maybe last thing at night, maybe some of those regrets, maybe those decisions that you wish that you hadn't taken, maybe past loves, maybe friendships that you no longer have. How do we stop those annoying thoughts from our past that we just feel we cannot move on from? So here's the thing. I'm not a great believer in moving on from something. So to sort of say, okay, let's just move on, let it go, forget about it. Because we are who we are because of our past. And if we are more amazing than we were yesterday, then how can our past be bad? Even the things that we wish hadn't happened, the things that perhaps we still feel a little angry and bitter about. The trick is to integrate them into ourselves and our lives, but not in a way that is now harmful. So the key to this really, in a sense, is gratitude. If you're more amazing now than you were then how can it be bad? If you don't believe you're more amazing now than you were then that's the thing that you really need to work upon. Because we sometimes link ourselves to be the same person that made the mistake in the first place. And when I say mistake, it's just a learning, isn't it? It's just something that we had to learn from. So quite often what we'll believe is, I'm still the person who did that, but you're not. It's a little bit like sort of, you know, it's the same brush. I've only replaced the handle 3 times and the brush head twice. It's not the same brush then, is it? It's exactly the same as looking at the same river. Well, the river that you were looking at, the water has flowed away. It's not the same river. We change. And the bad things that happen to us make us grow and make us learn. The problems that we have with stagnation is when we believe that we are the same person that created the problem in the first place. We believe that we haven't grown and that we haven't changed and that we may be that stupid again, or we may be that vulnerable again, or we may be that hurt again, and that we simply can't open our hearts just in case some horrible thing happens and that's going to make us feel bad. You haven't learned anything if you believe that. Of course you've learned something. So when you've learnt something from a situation, how can it repeat itself in exactly the same way again? That would be impossible. So trust yourself. When these little warnings come up in your mind, because that's what they are your ego's way of keeping you small. Your ego is saying, oh my goodness, look what happened when you ventured out into the world and opened your heart last time. You got hurt. You mustn't do it again. It's dangerous. But the heart says, fly free, be in the world, be happy, be gracious, be joyous, go and enjoy yourself. The heart says, be with people, love people, enjoy people. But the ego says, stay small, stay in your room, protect yourself. It's a dangerous world out there. Look, I have evidence for how dangerous it is. Look at these memories that I pop into your mind that tell you to stay small. So the chances are that every time you feel that you're about to open your heart, one of these negative burps come up of a memory and go pop. And then you're like, oh, yes, I remember how shitty life can be. But you know what? It can completely be the other way too. And we can also have positive memory burps where we remember falling in love. We remember that kiss before we go, yeah, and then it went really horribly wrong and it didn't work out. Spinning it. Being a positive spin doctor to any of the bad things that you believe has ever happened to you actually stop the bad things being bad. So, what I would say is, when those ego burps pop up, say thank you for reminding me that the world can be a really bad place. I get it. Thank you ever so much. But let me tally-ho with my positive memory of something wonderful that happened to me and get into a little bit of a lightsaber between the powers of good and evil. And chop off its head and basically say, yes, that happened, I learnt from it, I'm moving on, and I stand strong in opening my heart and not believing that anything negative in my past is going to be replayed in my future. The only thing I need to do is to remove the blocks that I have put in the way to seeking love. And if this memory burp is one of the blocks that I'm putting in the way of an open heart, well, I will lightsaber it out of the way and move on with my life into being a more courageous, loving warrior in the world that doesn't need to be protected, because I am only in alignment with what serves me best.